Well, first of all, Micky, James Vaughan was announced as the club sporting director this week. How positive is that for the club, and how much have you enjoyed working with him this season?
Yeah, I really enjoy working with James. It's an area that probably seen between me and my chairman, because his chairman's really busy on with everything, that probably needs to be filled in order to keep the club moving forward smoothly, and that contact with James every day will help me to try and keep the things moving forward.
And does it help when he has been a player as well? Does it help in his role being a player?
Yeah, it's got to, yeah, but it'll help because I believe that he'll be good at his job. It'll help because I know that he's good at relationships, and he gets on well with everybody, and he knows, like me, that we're all here to try and make Tranmere better. So that it will be a good appointment for everybody.
And since the defeat on Tuesday, what's it been like today? Has it been trying to build the players' confidence up, or have they kind of put it to the back of their minds and they're thinking about Saturday already?
No, not at all. Everything about, obviously we don't like losing games of football, but we come straight back in again and we get back on the things that we know that's got us to second in the league. We looked over that as a staff. We watch other games back again, and if there's any area that we believe we can improve and or learn from, then we'll have that ready for the players when they come in on Thursday. But it'll be about making sure that we understand that all we've got to do is get onto the things that we know that we can do well and have been doing well in order to win games of football. So that's what it's been about today. It'll be the same tomorrow, and then a cracking game at the weekend.
And you mentioned after the game, you couldn't fault the desire, the effort. It was just like the kind of in the final third where you couldn't finish things off. Would you put that down to like fatigue because you've had played so many games? Or just one of those things where it just doesn't go right on the day?
No, we want to make excuses about things like that, because at the end of the day, everybody's playing a lot of games. No, we quite rightly, when we look at it, like I say, my gut feeling right away after the game, without even looking at the game, because that's when you get interviewed. You don't have the opportunity to obviously watch it back, but when you get interviewed, you go with your gut instinct, and my gut said to me that we weren't good enough in the final third. And we did get the opportunities, we didn't work them well enough to create enough clear-cut chances to give us a chance of getting a result in the game. There was a lot of stuff that we did fine, but certainly going into the final third, the quality going in there, the decision-making going in there, or the creating the little link-ups that are needed, just weren't there. So we spoke about that this morning, and worked on it on the grass, showed them it in the videos and whatever else we've got here, and same again tomorrow, and then hopefully we'll see us getting back to that again at the weekend.
And they have done that, but they have done it before, haven't they? You've seen how, even the last game against Swindon, the 3-0 at home, you can do it. So you can just look back at that, can't you, and think, well, we can do this. We just have to put it into practice again. Yeah,
that's the important thing, Carl. It's we know what we need to do in order to be a functional, good team. So we'll just get back to that again. Just get back to doing that well. No big dramas, nothing, no big, no chaos and all that kind of stuff. We'll just get back to knowing what we have to do in order to go and gain an important result at the weekend.
I just mentioned to Peter Clark then, you're still second place. You're still 3 points with the playoffs. You can, after defeats, you can feel a bit down, can't you? But you've got to look at it, it's really positive still, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You would take this at this stage of the season if you were offered it at the start of the season. But we're on about trying to improve all the time. And we're on about trying to improve and find that consistency and keep improving as a club and as a team. So that's the way that we approach it, is to try and find that consistency in the performances in order to give ourselves a good chance of winning games. So that's the reason why we do it. It's not because it's any kind of panic or anything. It's because that's what we would always do, win, lose or draws. We'd comb over the performances and see where we could improve.
And just stick with Peter Clark. He made his 100th appearance for the club on Tuesday. Brilliant, isn't he? To be doing that many games at the age he is, and it wasn't what he would have wanted with the game, with scoring the own goal, but it's still a great moment for him, isn't it?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, we've spoke many times about Peter, how well he's done for us, how great a professional he is, and we're delighted that he's here. He, like everybody else, looks at the last performance or performances and tries to improve just like everybody else. And he will be ready for the game at the weekend, and his 101st performance at the weekend, he'll just go again.
And going back to the two defeats, but the thing is, you're in second place. You're there to be shot at now, aren't you? As well, you're the team that people want to beat, and they want to. You're playing against teams who are fighting for things as well. So it does get harder as the season goes on, doesn't it? When you're playing against teams.
Yeah, but there is that. But then we are second place, then we've got to raise our performance as well and show why we're there. So we've got to keep getting better as well and feel the threats and deal with the threats. So no, it's a challenge for everybody. And at the minute, we're coming off the back of losing the last two, one to a penalty, one to a set play. So we'll look to try and improve that and get back to winning ways as quickly as we can.
And you're playing Port Vale. They've held both Forest Green and Northampton to draws in recent weeks as well. So they're a tough side to play against, aren't they? Yeah,
they knew at the start of the season with the way that they recruited that they were going to be up there and about things. So it's no surprise to me that they're getting results like that, and they are where they are. They will obviously want to keep winning games and be in the shake-up at the end of the season to try and, like we are, try and be in that promotion hunt.
And their manager, David Clark's been taking a bit of leave at the moment for family bereavements. I'm sure you send him all the best, and it puts football into perspective, doesn't it, as well?
Absolutely. He's a good... I actually didn't know that because I've kind of had my head down with my own things at the minute and haven't seen much of the news. So that's news to me. I'll go and find out a wee bit more about that because I know Clarkie very, very well. And absolutely goes without saying, now that you've told me that, he's definitely been in my thoughts and we pass our best wishes on to him. But I don't know an awful lot about it at the minute, but I will go and find out, see what's happened.
And any team news, any injuries ahead of this Saturday, or good squad, good fit squad?
Just the usual stuff. We'll give stuff the most amount of time possible to try and get fit. We've got all the bumps and bruises that you get after playing Saturday, Tuesday at this time of the year, where the pitches are going as well and the travelling. But we'll again, like I always say, we should be able to put a team there that should represent us properly and go and try and get a result.
Okay, well, good luck for Saturday. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, Micky. How you doing?
All right, mate. Well, you've gone mental, haven't you? You've taken it all too literal, haven't you?
What do you...
You've got a pineapple on your bed. What's that?
There's nothing on my bed. There's just a bunch of flowers on my desk, this is.
There's like a pineapple there.
Where? What?
There behind you in the bed. Is that crazy bed sheet that you've got?
Yeah, it is my bed sheets, yeah.
You've just gone bananas, haven't you? You've just, because your bedroom's on the telly, you thought, do you know what? I'm going to go and show I'm out with it, and it's just not working. It's just too much.
Okay, I'll tone it back next week for you.
But I'm glad that you're making the effort, but you've gone a bit too much, haven't you?
At least I took the jacket off the door.
What is it? It's flowers. It's flowers.
It is flowers, yeah.
Very good.
Right. So the next run of games, I know you've always been determined to say just look at the next game, but the next run of games is so important with Northampton and Newport away to come straight after the Port Vale game. It's sort of hard to not look at this period as make or break for the season. No. It is just about the next game. It is. Every game's 3 points, and you come to a period in the season where, yeah, there's games against teams that are around you, but there's 14 games to play, all for the same prize, 3 points. So no, not at all. There's a lot of football still to be played. I wouldn't even begin to think about it as dramatically as what you're saying about it. No, I wouldn't. I just try and get them prepared for the next game best way I can, calmly, composed, and go out there and do what they do well, and they have been doing well, and find that level of performance that I always say gives a good chance of winning games of football. And then we'll just take it one half at a time. 28 halves to go at the end of the season, a lot of football to be played, and we keep going. Port Vale specifically Saturday, then it's not going to be an easy game. They're 5 without defeat in the league.
No, there's not. There's no easy games in this division, as we all know. So we'll go and approach it. We'll do our homework best way we can. We'll tell the players what we need to be good at, what their threats are, and we'll go out and play the way that we need to play in order to give ourselves a good chance of getting the result.
And the reverse fixture this season, second game of the season, 0-0 draw. Team feels very different now to what it did back then. Yeah,
because that was a team that was just put together. If you remember, I think there's only, maybe 3, maybe 4 players here from last season at that stage. So it was a lot of new players to integrate into a group. But I remember right on the day, I think we played well. We played well, and in a good game. So no, we've grown as a group and grown as a playing staff, and since then. So it'll be interesting to see where both teams are now at this stage now as well.
And then, if you look back at games from the start of the season, does it sort of give you a feeling of satisfaction to see how far the team has come?
No, I think to be honest, I think I would reflect on that at the end. I just concentrate on trying to pick up points. I really do. Next one being Port Vale, so we'll just try and concentrate on that, and then I think at the end you have a look over all the work that you've done, and you think about maybe what you could have done better. But that's not for now. That's probably for the end of the season to think about that. All we're just trying to do at the minute is get them ready for the next game of football.
Carl asked about team news, but more specifically, is there any updates on Elliot Nevitt, Paul Glatzel, Lee O'Connor, Jake Spearing?
Elliot trained today. We'll see if there's any reaction to him tomorrow. Tomorrow, Jay Spearing, no, won't be back. Glatzel, no. Lee O'Connor, we'll see tomorrow. So we'll have a look again tomorrow and see where we're up to with all the guys.
And Saturday's game, going into it off the back of 2 defeats in a row, first time since October, but dips and troughs like this, they tend to happen over the course of a season, and especially when it is 2 back-to-back really tough away games. Going into the game at Prenton Park on Saturday, it's a good chance to bounce straight back.
Yeah, of course, but we won't look at it with anything other than what can we improve on, what could we have got better at, and we think that we know that because we've looked over that and we know how we perform when we were at our best and what was missing. And then nothing really changes. We just get back to trying to do the things that we know that we need to do in order to be a good team. So that's all we're concentrating on. And then if we do that on Saturday and we find the consistency of that and we do the things necessary, then we'll have a good chance of winning the game.
And then just lastly from me, how important is it to take those lessons from previous games, especially when you have lost, and move those lessons forward into the games that are coming up?
It's always important because that's your last exam, isn't it? That's your last time on a football pitch. So you look at the things that you think that you're doing well, you look at the things that you think you can do better, and you look at the things that you're not consistently doing. And all the time, it's a job that in motion all the time. It's always moving around, and you think you cracked one thing, and then you look at it and you need to get better at another. So it's always on the move. So you just got to keep on top of it. But we know what we need to do in order to try and be a good team. So we would just back into training and back at that again, and then on with the next game and try and pick up a valuable 3 points.